elements after the head. All noun phrases happen to end with the head noun. So generally seen, the last word in a noun phrase, which is obviously the head, is noun, right? But is it the case with all noun phrases that it is the last word that has to be the head, or that has to be the noun? This is no case. By no means it's always true, right? So in these sentences, we find some noun phrases and look at them how they are. For example, the diary which the tram was reading was amusing. So if we look at this sentence, the diary is the head of the noun phrase. The diary, the is determiner, which the tram was reading. So we find that which the tram was reading is a sentence, embedded sentence. It refers to diary. It's in a post modification position, right? Similarly, the idea that he might like some chocolate did not occur to the German girl. Again, the idea that he might like some chocolate again refers to idea, which is a noun, right? Head of the noun phrase. The question whether the tramp had any money did not arise. So here we have whether the tramp had any money, which refers to the word question. So if we bracket the 32, the diary is the noun phrase, and which the tramp was reading is the sentence, embedded sentence, S-bar sentence. However, if we look at these sentences, which in that can work as relative pronouns, or they can be relative clauses, but whether is different, right? What type of embedded sentence it is. So let's see some example. The diary which the tram was reading was amusing. So if we look at this string of words which the tram was reading refers to diary. So diary is the head of the noun phrase, and so this which the tramp was reading, this strings modifies the diary, so it's a post modifier. Idea that he might like some chocolate did not occur to the German girl. Similarly, that he might like this string of words refers to idea, which is the head of the noun phrase. The question whether the tramp had any money, so similarly whether the tramp had any money refers to the head word, which is question, right? So in 5 we can have the same 32 sentence in bracketing the diary, which is the noun phrase, and which the tramp was reading is an S-bar sentence, right? So we can say that which is relative pronoun. So this whole is a relative clause. What about that and whether? Are they a different kind? So the head noun diary is followed by a string of a string which the tram was reading, such as a string is a embedded sentence. So we call it an S-bar sentence. So the sentence clause is fully integrated within the noun phrase. So the clause labeled follow the head nouns in an NP and has the function of post modifier, which in the above example is a relative pronoun, which the word which relative pronoun introduces relative clause. The other clause above that start with that and whether are not relative clauses, right? But appositive clauses which give an indication of the content of the idea or the question. So appositive clauses comes after noun. They are considered noun clauses, right? And they actually explain the same content in a different way, right? So these are called appositive. These appositive clauses can be introduced with that or with whether, or with many other words. We will look at them in detail. Remember that when we have a relative clause, it has a certain meaning in Urdu, but when we have the same clause which is not relative, it's a positive, it has a different meaning in Urdu, right? So to differentiate, you can translate the clauses and can understand when it is a relative clause and when it is an appositive clause. They are also said to function as post modifier. Obviously, they are post modifier. They are explaining the head word or the noun before them. There are, however, important differences between the relative clause and appositive clauses. Consider also the italicized in 36. 2 boys with red hair entered the room. If we look at this 36 sentence, 2 boys, they have a post modifier with red hair entered the room. So this is a prepositional phrase. So it means that beside the clauses, a prepositional phrase can also follow a head noun in a noun phrase. So the string with red hair is a prepositional phrase which post modifies the head of the noun phrase. So these are some variables that we can find in a noun phrase. So you can see that predeterminer, central determiner, post determiner. What are the possibilities of a noun phrases? What can comes before the noun as pre-modifier and what can come after the noun phrase as post modifier. So these are some functions and the usages of a noun phrase. So you can look at them in certain detail. For example, if we look at central determiner, so we can find them. They can be articles, they can be possessive pronoun, and they can be demonstrative pronoun. So you can have a detail of the, his, these, etc. Similarly, post modifier, post determiner, 10, 5, and adjective phrase, lovely, German, Dutch, etc. Then we can have post modifier, for example, after they have come after the head, for example, boys with red hair, and similarly news that he was ill. So we have an embedded clause here. So these are different possibilities of different constituent within the noun phrase. So this is the range of the noun phrases, that what can come as pre-modifier and what can come as post modifier. So with the help of these we can understand a noun phrase. So we can conclude that a noun phrase has its head sometime as the last word of the phrase and sometime it is somewhere in between.